So what we are going to see now, working with C Sharp and VB.NET. So what we are going to see, how will we create classes in C Sharp and VB.NET and work with C Sharp and VB.NET. So most of the modern applications today are written using object-oriented programming. As we have seen in earlier sessions, object-oriented programming involves creating objects and classes. C Sharp, VB.NET and all those languages that target .NET environment comply with object-oriented programming. They follow standards of object-oriented programming. Both C Sharp and VB.NET can be written following object-oriented programming methodology. As I told earlier sessions, there are two methodologies. There is a procedural methodology and there is an object-oriented programming methodology. So in object-oriented programming methodology, what do? We create objects and classes. If we start with C Sharp, what are the language features of C Sharp? Strictly follows object-oriented programming. C Sharp strictly follows object-oriented programming and supports all features of object-oriented programming. There are four main features: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance and polymorphism. Also, it is a strongly typed language. Now, what does a strongly typed language means? Strongly typed programming language is one in which each type of data, for example, such as an integer or character or even an hexadecimal, is predefined as part of programming language, and all constants or variables defined for a given program, they must be described with one of the data types. It is, before declaring a variable, you have to mention the data type. So that is a strongly typed language. And there are some complexities in C++. Those are simplified in C Sharp. We will see as we proceed in C Sharp, we will see what those complexities are. Let's have a look at some more C Sharp language features. Now C Sharp has support for nullable value types, enumerations, delegates, lambda expression and direct memory access. Now what is a nullable? It is a nullable value type. A value type, if you look at what is a value type, there are two types of variables we can use in C Sharp: value types and reference types. Now a value type cannot be assigned a null value. For example, int I equal to null, this will give a compile time error. Nullable type can represent correct range of values for underlying value types, plus it can be assigned an additional null value. That is a nullable value type. Besides this, C Sharp has support for enumeration, delegates and lambda expression and provides support for direct memory access. You can build single as well as multi-threaded applications. What are multi-threaded applications? Applications that can perform multiple tasks. We'll have a look at multi-threaded application when we proceed further into C Sharp. Besides this, C Sharp provides support for exception handling. Support is required so that our program doesn't crash due to an abnormal scenario. We can develop platform for different applications like Windows, web, cloud and mobile. You can also connect different data repositories using ADO.NET and LINQ. Like you can accept information from the user and store it in our database using ADO.NET, as well as you can fetch records using LINQ. VB.NET also has language features. What are they? Provides complete support for object-oriented programming. Just like C Sharp, VB.NET also provides complete support for object-oriented programming. Since it is placed on .NET stack, both C Sharp and VB.NET are placed on .NET stack, it can access all the libraries available through .NET environment. This is a CLS compliant programming language. Both C Sharp and VB.NET are CLS compliant Programming language. Now, what's a CLS compliant programming language? CLS stands for Common Language Specification. That is, there are minimum set of rules that are required, and these are language features that a .NET language must implement and understand. So it's a subset of common type system which defines how data types are defined in .NET. This again supports multi-threading and exception handling.
So what we are going to see how to write a class. So we will use class keyword. Let's create a class called car. So this opening curly brace. We can declare variables inside a class. Suppose we want to declare a variable of type double price, and then I want to declare a variable of type string module name. It should not be space in variable name. You can also create functions. We'll see later how to create functions. So what this is? You can also call it as identifier. We call it as identifier. This one is keyword. These are data type. There are again variable names. So these are different parts of a class. Of course, there are many other things inside a class, but these are just for a starter parts of a class. What next are we going to see? How to create properties. What next we are going to see? What are the different things we will see inside class? Properties. We'll see how to create properties. Methods are behavior, creating constructors. These three things. We will place these things inside a class. Let's first start with properties. So how will we create a property? Now remember, properties are used for implementing abstraction and encapsulation. Whatever private members we have inside a class, they can be accessed using properties. So we have a class, say book, we have a class named book, and how will we declare variables? By default, variables declared inside class are private. So what will we do? Let's assume we declare a variable called string author name. String book name. So how will we get these values? Public string will we retrieve this? Author name. Get. Return. Author name. Set. Author name equal to value. Value is a special keyword. It's used to pass on value inside property and from property to value. So what this is? This is a property. This is property to get the value of author name or change the value of get the value of author name and change the value of author name. How do we create a class in VB.NET? So what do we require? Use this keyword public. Class book. Right. Now there are no curly braces. There are no curly braces. If you want to end the class, you will have to use the statement end class. Now if you want to declare variables, what do we do? Use this dim keyword. This is used at class or module level. Dim author name as string. Now here data type has to be declared using as keyword. Has to be declared using as keyword. Dim book name as string. And then you have to end your class, you have to write it as end class. So this is in VB.NET. This is in VB.NET.